thought I'd talk to you guys about God today, or gods, or goddesses, or whatever, because I can. Personally, I believe that there is no God. Um, just for the simple reason that all the evidence points to the fact that if there was a God, he's obviously fucking with science and making it so that we can't find him. And, well, first of all, God is supernatural anyway, so science can't really detect him anyway, but I mean, we should be able to find some stuff with prayer. Maybe we just don't have the right God. Regardless, if there is a God, then he's obviously not bothering with us humans, which is why I believe the deist God, if there is a God, is the most likely God. Because the deist God is a God that doesn't give a shit about humans. And quite frankly, that's pretty logical. I mean, what's so special about one particular species of mammal on one particular planet, in one particular solar system, in one particular galaxy, and quite possibly one particular universe? I think I've said that before. But yeah, what's so special about us? What makes us better than every other animal or whatever life there is out there? Because there is other life out there. What makes us more special than them? And quite frankly, I don't think we should even bother believing in gods, personally, because I think that no one can know the true state of God. Sure, we have books. We have the Bible, we have the Quran, we have the Torah, we have the Al-Qur'an, we have the Book of Mormon, load of shit. We have the Bhagavad Gita, we have all sorts of holy books. Most of them saying they are the one true word of the one true God. We have all the holy books and stuff. So then it becomes a question of yawning, apparently. So then it becomes a question of how do we know which is the true God? Well, if God is real, then it has to be believed on faith alone. We all agree on that, right? If God is real, then we can never know he's real. And by that logic, if God is real, we can't know anything about God. We can't know anything about the true nature of God. We can't know anything about the state of God. We can't know anything about God. All we can do, as Marcus Aurelius once said, is our best. A just God would appraise us and bring us into heaven for that alone. An unjust God would require worship, and indeed a self-centered God would. An unjust God would send you to hell for not believing in it. Something along those lines. I can't remember the exact quote. Leave me alone. So Marcus Aurelius said something like that, and I agree with it. We can't know anything about God. We can believe in God, and we can believe in a God. We can believe in the Christian God, or we can believe in Brahma and Vishnu and the rest. We can believe in any God we want, be it he, she, it, they. He, she, they, or it. We can believe in whatever God we want. But the problem is that we don't know if we're right, so all we can do is our best. And that's quite frankly why I don't bother believing in God. It's kind of a waste of time. Any just God would love me for the fact that I am doing the right thing, or what I believe to be the right thing and what most people would see as the right thing. So any just God would not require the sacrifice of his child. There are a few other problems with God, as it were. A God cannot be omnipotent, in other words, all-powerful, because that's just fucking impossible. You've ever heard of the super rock paradox? Yeah. God can make a rock so heavy he can't lift it. Or can he? And if he can, then he's not omnipotent. But he's not omnipotent either if he can't. So what the hell? Also, God can't be all-knowing and give us free will at the same time. It doesn't work. And quite honestly, we can't really... I mean, if God is all-knowing, he already knew Adam and Eve were going to eat the apple, so why did he put the tree in the garden in the first place? An all-knowing God can't really exist. I don't know what you'd call that. Omni-knowing? Whatever. So there has to be a limit to God. No matter what God is, be it a spirit, a force, or whatever. Every force has a limit, and even God has to have a limit, because you can't do something that's impossible. And, well, there are a lot of things that aren't impossible. You can't slam a revolving door, as it were. So, yeah. But this fact that we can't really know anything about God, that we can't really say anything about God, Well, actually, I think Confucius worded it best. He said, I spent a whole day meditating on the gods, and it was a waste of time. Because I realized whatever problems exist in the realm of the gods, we must first solve the problems of our world. Something along those lines. Confucius was a very good man. And I think it was right. We have to fix this world before we can worry about what's going to await us at the next world. Once we get a perfect society, then we can start worrying about the supernatural. But I digress. And this desire and need to believe in a God as opposed to having evidence for a God is exactly why, if I were to die, and if the God of the Holy Rulers, thank you Celtic Princess for that expression, were true, and I were brought before St. Peter at the pearly gates, and I was sentenced to hell, you know what I'd do? I'd walk right up to God, I would spit in his face, and I would say, what the fuck is wrong with you? You're an idiot. What kind of show were you running? You created a world where everyone could do whatever they wanted, but you apparently knew everything. What the fuck is your problem? Why didn't you help people? Why didn't you answer prayers? Why didn't you give us proof that you existed? If you did, then more people would have believed in you. It's reasonable, then, to damn people to hell if you wave it in your face that you exist. But if you're hiding behind a rock, then what the hell are you doing damning people? You call yourself all just and all loving? You're nothing but a big, fat, arrogant dick. And about that time, I'd probably be sent down to the fiery flames of eternal torture. Now, mind you, I think that there is no hell. But that being said, if I were damned to hell, and if it were for reasons that the holy rulers love to flaunt around, you know what I'd do? I'd say, fucking wow. And I'd be proud of myself. I'd be happy. I'd be in pain for all eternity, and I'd hate it, sure. But I'd be happy that I got to spit in God's face. I'd be happy that my death and my torment was proof enough that God was an asshole. So just think of that, all you psycho-fundy Christians. The next time you're walking around thinking about your God and getting on your knees and praying to him, because that's going to be your issue to deal with, not mine. Peace, love, and the inevitable flowers. Mwah!